All right, so we'll kick it off. Let's sign this Corrigan guy. I need a 5th goaltender, right? That's good to go. We'll get him on roster. We'll set up the NHL and AHL the way we need to do so. And then we will optimize coaches, all that fun stuff, and get this new season started where, again, we should be pretty good. Like, we really should be decent. I'm actually going to bump up Markkinen so that Vinny is the AHL starter. And then the big thing, aside from seeing how we do in the season, will be double-checking the draft board to see if we gave up our first-round pick in a year in which we should not have. I also expect at times this season that certain players in that lineup will suck for absolutely no reason, resulting in me most likely trading at least a couple of dudes because that always fargan happens. Always. So Topi Ronnie's there as a high 9. Haminaho. All right, so we got some healthy scratches. Honestly, best lines works perfectly for the AHL. We don't have to worry about it. So let's set up ye old coaching staff, shall we? Which, yeah, it's going to be Joe Pavelski, I think. No. It's going to be Burns or Parise. I think it's going to be Zach Parise. He has the best teaching. So, congratulations to Zach Parise, the new head coach of the Tentaskills. Let's see. Giordano has the worst teaching. Figure that one out. Move up Pavelski. We'll have Brent Burns be the goalie coach. Because why not? Gio can be the associate. So head coach Zach Parise, got Giordano, Pavelski, and Burns on the coaching staff. And then for the NHL, Winkler is a 60% fit for our team. Sawatsky is a 60% fit. And Colombe is a 51. So Winkler is definitely staying in as our head coach. We will go with you as the associate. You are the assistant, so we just need an NHL level goalie coach. There are a couple of A-grade coaches there, but no guarantees that any of them are half decent. And Mila Kretschmann. Mila, welcome aboard. Have a forward turn defenseman as a goalie coach. Seems great. I mean, hey, if he can succeed at forward and defense, why couldn't he succeed as a goalie coach, right? Why not? All right, we got to change these 3 new scouts over to Liga Scouts. Again, the problem is not every player in Liga ends up being Finnish. So our prospect pool is often smaller than you would have expected. Like last year, our best player was a medium 9 who had a 1 out of 4 confirmed accuracy for an X Factor. We didn't even bother drafting him. So one more look at the team. I do need to try and hope that Ronnie Hirvonen is a better fit. He's not. I don't really give a shit. Pistola's still in. We'll have a -1. So line chemistry, not amazing. Right? Not amazing. But I don't care about line chemistry because it often does not matter. That forward core is absolutely disgusting, which leads me to our power play. Pettinen and Varakis both out there. I'm going to want Line on the top power play. Obviously, Heinola is out there. We need to have Aaron Kiviharju out on the top power play. Honka is also worth the spot, so is Hamasalmi. But yeah, Honka and Kivi. At the very least, it's got to be Kiviharju on that second power play. We have 2 righty shots. We do. All right. That's not looking too bad there then. +5. So the puck carrier of the line will be Pettinen. The finisher is going to be Varakis. No doubt. No doubt. And then face-off wise, that looks good to me. That second power play. Oh, God. So Kivi's already there. We need Haltonen. Haltonen, Kakko, Lundell, Ratu. So sorry to our Turi Lekkinen. You're the odd man out here, my friend. We only have one righty, and that's Haltonen. We have a lot of dudes who can play in multiple different spots. I think that works, though. Let's we want Haltonen at the point. That works for me. We want Kivi Harju to be the quarterback of this power play. The finisher. Tough to say. Honestly, Capo Kakko. Let Kakko just shoot the puck and hope someone in front gets it. Would be our strategy there. A lot of lefties here. Have Haltonen over there as a righty. That works for me. All right, power play's good to go. PK, we can just leave it as is for now. And then the extra lines, the extra attacker, if it's not Ville Heinola, it's going to be Aaron Kiviharju. We are blessed to have both of them on the team at the same time. I think we're ready to go. And let's go best lines in the AHL now that we have a new head coach. We still have a -1 for the third line. It is what it is. We made the playoffs last year. We've pretty consistently been a good team. The goalie coach declined. The market isn't what you're looking for. Where do you want to live? If there's any place on earth that you want to live other than in Helsinki, you're a terrible person. That's right, I said it. I changed my handle to the Helsinki Simp. All right. We start off our season against the North Kakalaki Hurricanes. What are the ratings for this season? 91, 85, and an 80. If that 91 offense can't propel us, man. Like, really. Come on. Come on. Draft class. I didn't forget. There is a Finn, but he's projected 7th. Right defenseman Mika Rinas. And another right defenseman, Tuomo Tukio. Okay, so a couple of right defensemen at the top of the draft. Wow, another one, Raimo Hautinen. A lot of right defensemen in the first round this year. Good to know. And a left defenseman, Kai Ristolainen. So a good year for defensemen. How high end, we don't know. So I'm not, I'm not panicking over the fact we don't have our first round pick. I mean, we have Ville Varakis instead. Paired up with Pettinen on that top line. So far, the offense hasn't struggled, but holy shit, have we given up a lot of goals as well. Line A picked up a minor injury, but he's good to go. Lost 6-2 to Chicago. Rupe Vestarainen hurt in the AHL. I'm actually nervous for this season. Because I thought we were here before. Not in terms of the team being this talented. It is insane that we built a team this good. The biggest issue is, okay, like a couple years ago when it's like, we have Brad Lambert here. We have all of these younger players. And here we go. Time for them to take over. And then they all flopped at the same time. What if now we have Anton Lundell and all of these great talents and they flop at the same time? It's a legitimate fear knowing this game. As of December 1st, we are only 12-9-3. Not exactly crushing it. Heinola's leading the team in points at over a point per game pace. Pettinen, 21 points in 24 games. 20 points in 24 for Aho. Just 17 for Varakis. There just might not be enough puck to go around for that top line. 16 points for line A. Haltonen, 14. Kakko on 21. 17 for Lundell. 11 for Ratu. 10 for Lekkinen. That fourth line has been abysmal. Abysmal, I say. Defensively, Kivy on 11 points, a +1. 11 points even. Okay. We are going to swap Heimasami and Honka. Just to reunite Honka with Heinola. Goaltending. Fuck. Yeah, it hasn't been great. Korpisalo is going to be taken out as the backup in favor of Markkanen. And we need to make some changes on that fourth line. We're probably going to do a full swap of that fourth line. Hirvonen, Tuomala. Actually, Hirvonen hasn't played, but Tuomala, Puistola, Parssinen. We're going to go with Koivunen and Piekria. As we lost Juuso Parssinen to Columbus, but is it really a loss? I don't think it is. He's gotten a couple of chances on this team and hasn't really accomplished much. So a brand new fourth line moving forward. We'll go best lines in the AHL, and we'll see what can happen there. Let's move on after those changes. You know, by the way, January 1st is the day I'm going to look around the league to see what's going on. You know for a fact that a certain goaltender that we just traded to the New York Rangers is going to have at least a 915. If UC Saros has under a 915 with the Rangers, I'm going to be shocked. And now they are directly behind us in the standings. But I can't help but think that's going to be the case, as we're still losing far, far too often to comfortably make the playoffs. Might be a coaching change at the start of the month, too. A lot of injuries in the AHL. January 1st, 2028. Currently 6 points with 3 games at hand behind Philly for that wild card spot. Heinola still leading the way at just over a point per game. Pettinen, 29 points in 36. Obviously not bad. 33 and 36 for Aho. 23 goals for Varakis. Again, I just worry that top line doesn't have enough puck to go around. No improvement for Haltonen yet. Wow, Capo Kakko at a 90 overall is showing up as a second line forward. I mean, it's good. It's very... Wow, okay, 13 points for Lehkonen. It's very Leafs-esque, as that new version of the fourth line is also not clicking. We have good general scoring, but nobody is taking over. Heinola works very well with Honka. Lindell working out well with Kulanumi. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but Kulanumi is going to our top pair out of desperation. Goalie-wise, Lankinen 904. 870 in the 2 appearances so far for Juha Markkanen. Vinny is crushing the AHL. It's his time. Emil Vinny and Kevin Lankinen, the NHL goaltending. Pihitia, Hirvonen, and Koivunen will be sent down. If we lose someone on waivers, fuck it. We had Tuomala there before, so Texola gets another chance. Vestorinen, even though he's gotten hurt a ton this season, gets another chance. And Nikkanen will get a chance, and we didn't lose anybody on waivers, so clearly no one else in the league thought those players were worth much. So welcome in Mr. Vestorinen. Nikkanen's here. Texola's here. Not enough dressed goalies. Whoops. Let's get to Mr. Vinny in there. And obviously I'm trying everything I can in goal because, God forbid, we might have to trade for a goalie at the trade deadline. Coaching staff. Winkler was a 50. He's now a 57% scheme fit. Colombe is a 50, but Sawatsky, if I recall, 62. Dane Sawatsky is our new head coach. We're going to do a mid-season switch, rotate things around, better chemistry for the forwards, still decent chemistry for the defense. So we'll see if those change in strategies work. Let's look around the league really quickly. Okay, we're 19, 14, and 3. Philly's in a playoff spot on 47. Watsonian on the prime. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Technical, it takes 44 points to be in the playoffs, so we're not that far out. Shout out to Foy Boy for the follow as well. Appreciate you both. As the Dallas Stars are the #1 team in the NHL right now, because we couldn't steal Hintz away, despite desperate attempts to try. So around the league. Connor McDavid. Love the stream at a snipe at the prime. I'm new here, but I love NHL streams. So Watsonian, you've come to a great place. Thank you again for the primer. And we do play a lot of franchise around here, not just NHL. Sports games of all sorts, but NHL is always my home base. And if you're new here as well, you have 7 years? 8? How long have I been on YouTube? You have a lot of content to catch up on if you care to on the YouTube side of things as well. Shout out to Connor Bedard, crushing it still. Draisaitl's up there. I would say scoring's down a little bit this season, but not really. I think just we don't have anybody that's able to take that huge step up, as it's Bedard and McDavid leading the way. Varakis is up there for goals. Not that many guys have 20 goals yet. Defensively, it's Bouchard, Sandin, Joseph. Hainala's on the list at 38 points, but yeah, he's not quite Evan Bouchard. And then goalie-wise, the winningest, Ilya Sorokin. There is not a certain goaltender there who I thought would be there. Shutout leader. Lankinen's up there. Save percentage king. Right now is Connor Hellebuck. Luukkonen signed in St. Louis and is crushing it. Good to know. Ville Husso's also doing okay in Anaheim. What was his contract? Don't know if we want to trade for that since NHL 16. I think so. Yeah, it's been a long time. Honestly, it's kind of scary for me to think about how long I've, been on YouTube and on Twitch, because that's a lot of time. Not that I regret the time. It's just like, wow, we've been here a long time. Long time. And I am still very, very fortunate to be able to dedicate as much time in my life as I do to sitting here and shaking my fist in anger at games like this. It's because of you guys, so thank you for that. Yeah, it's been a long time. Daniil Sheka, we cannot claim you. You are not Finnish. Holy AHL injuries. Karki, just keep going. Best lines in the AHL. It's fine. New head coach has been okay so far. We did lose to St. Louis. I actually do want to look at the updated draft class. Yeah, Reynes is only a medium 4. For Linköping, 3 years out, has abilities. That's not a player that we're horrified to miss out. A hello to Womo Tuki. Okay, we got a target. Okay. We are going to want first-round picks, but the good thing is, okay, we're not totally screwed because we gave our first-round pick this year to Vegas. Next year, it could still screw us. But 27, 17, and 4, the club reacted tremendously to having a new coach. We are currently in a wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Pettinen on 38 in 48. Aho on 43 and 48. Varakis up to 29 goals. Laine on 22 and 14. 14 and 18 for Halton, and still no overall improvement. Capocaco's looking good. Anton Lundell's still looking good. He's bounced up to a first liner again, but he's 26, so he's not going to get better. Ratu on 26. Our depth scoring through these top 3 lines are crazy. As a result, though, no matter who we play on the 4th line, that line sucks. The game's like, okay, we can't let you have everything. Defensive pairings are working out great. Especially Hanela still. Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, we need a backup goalie. We need a backup goalie. Right. All right. Nikkanen, Vestarinen, Texola. Let's go with Mikko Matika. We'll go for Vasainen. And Inkinen. Why not? We cannot lose Vestarinen in the waivers, so we'll continue to swap out the fourth line. We'll send Vinny back down to the AHL. I'm going to call up Korhonen. Why not? We'll see if a 75 overall goalie can make saves. Because no matter what the hell we do, we can apparently not find a goalie who can make saves. Which means that is obviously our number one target at the deadline. Whether it be Luukkonen, Husso, whoever. And we'll give Rasmus Korhonen the opportunity. Outside of that, nothing really to change. Let's keep it going. Month by month throughout this season as we try to get back to the playoffs. And the deadline is actually on March 1st. It's a leap year in 2028. So we lose 7-1 and 2-1 on back-to-back. Oh, God, that was 8-3 to Dow. Okay, our goaltending has not shown up in February. Oh my God, this has been a tragic month for us. Not quite a disaster, but close to it. We are still in a playoff spot. Vili Varakis has 40 goals in 62 games. But we are 6 points behind the Islanders with 20 games to go. Barring a miracle, we are... I mean, that's not insurmountable, but we are in a little bit of trouble. How's that fourth line doing? Hey, we found a fourth line that doesn't immediately get pooped on, so that's good. We know the defense is okay. How's the goaltending doing? You know what? Korhonen actually hasn't been that bad. We don't have a dominant goaltender, though, clearly. And I'm going to breeze through these numbers kind of quickly. Obviously, you guys will get updated looks at the numbers soon. Man, it's tough to say. 81 penalty minutes for Pettinen. Jesus Christ. Okay. That's okay. Line mates, plus 13, plus 12, minus 3. Are you okay? How? All right. Some of our lines really... I feel like we found a fourth line that's decent. So the team is getting punished in a general sense because we don't have a bad fourth line anymore. So instead of the fourth line being the punching bags, it's spreading the wealth. The Mainer came out in me. We don't know how to pronounce ing. There's no G. It's just in. Patrick can't play defense. Well then, hey, let's get Mike Babcock as his head coach. Make him real fucking defensive. All right. So to the deadline, goaltending is a gigantic need for us. Shout out to Quinn Hughes, top name on the block. There is no huge Finnish name in the top 10, so let's go on the hunt for goaltenders again. Son of a bitch. Okay, so Ville Husso's value is low. Low. He's still on a 913. We'll keep an eye on that. We would need them to retain salary, and with 3 years left, I don't think they'd do it. Wallstead and Allmark are both Swedish, so was Alnefelt for that matter. Hey, Boston, you got enough goalies? At least you're trying to trade one, but Jesus Christ. Again, very difficult to get teams to retain salary on a 3-year deal. Portillo's out there, but he doesn't work. Salmonen's back out there. 907 hasn't really been any better than who we already have. Again, Detroit, you have enough goalies? Jesus Christ. You thought I sat there and hoarded high-value goalies. Eskalainen? I forgot about this guy. Yeah, we traded him. He was in the Lundell deal. I don't have the value to get him, by the way. I would love to. Capo Kakkonen, no. 893, you have not been any better. What about the Jatkola in the AHL? Not really. Sturkin. Oh, man, the lack of options are really kind of standing out now. I wish Askarov was available. He is not. Harenstam is Swedish. He's doing great in the AHL. Medium elite, Jussi Vahalati. We could pick up that guy for the value, but to be honest, his value might drop again before there's anything we can do about it. Honestly, it's worth a shot really quickly. Not to solve our goaltending issue. Why you want it from Finland? It's a challenge series that I do. We've done it with a lot of different countries or even smaller countries that aren't that great. But yeah, just a challenge series that we do to use players from a certain nation. We've done it for the U.S. We've done it for Sweden. We've done series where we can only draft from the WHL. Can I give up a bunch of fourths? Yes, I can. 2 fourths and a fifth for that medium elite goalie, so that value works out tremendously for us. That's a steal. Saros. Oh, boy, he's down again. Down to an 86. We cashed out on UC. Yep, we cashed out on UC Saros at the right time. What about Eustace Annuin? Nope. Sorry, Eustace, you're not exactly crushing it either. The plight of Finnish goaltenders. What about Levi Merilainen? 892. Again, you can get some of these guys just to hope that they'll be better than who we've already have, but at the same time, like Blomqvist is an 84. The only reason to get him is like, well, maybe he'll be better than who we already have, but he only has a 900 save percentage on Pittsburgh. Dolpius Leinonen 898. Again, same thing. Same thing. This is Swedish. There are goalies that we could get. Like Pittsburgh's defense, though. It's not as if their defense is bad. Sogard is from Denmark, actually. And same for San Jose. Not as if their defense is abysmal. It's very tough to have an abysmal defense in this game with the way player development works. You see Hotala. Could go out and get him later. Then there is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen still rocking that 914 save percentage. He is... Wow, Vasi on the block. Luukkonen is currently our #1 target. Yeah, like Nicholas Koko's there as well, 891. Like, there's a bunch of Finnish goalies out there, but not that many of them are actually doing well. And again, you could try it and go out and get some of these guys to hope that they'll do better once they're on your team, but at the same time, why bother? Markkanen, you're going to be on the way out. You didn't do well at the NHL level or the AHL level. We can't get a 1-for-1. But again, we have some lower value picks that can still be moved. What about a 4th round pick? And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, welcome in. Is there another goalie who's worth it? I mean, again, Blomqvist is out there, but that's a decent chunk of value for a goalie that they don't want to trade. Known Finn Quinn Hughes, if only. If only. So the next goalie is Rasmus Korhinen's actually done very well. Very well. Then Luukkonen, then Husso, who's too expensive. I think we're good. I think we got our guy by bringing back... I mean, a 907 for Salomonen's not much better than what we've seen. Kevin Lankinen's down to a 901. Blomqvist at a 900. I think we're good. We got a bunch of goalies. Somebody has to be able to make a damn stop. And in terms of skaters to pick up, I don't really think we have the cap space. You know? Yeah, I mean, we have 1.9 million in cap space. There's just no major move to be pulled. The only thing that we could do is go to the trade finder. If we were to move Vahalati, third and a fourth. Okay. So Vahalati. We'd also probably want to move Allen while he still has some potential. Is there anybody? I could have sworn there was one more guy. I guess not. Can I trade both of them at the same time? I can. So a second and a fourth, second and a third. We'll make that deal with the Blues too. We'll cash out on these two guys, get a second and a third back before their value drops for the year. So that works for me. Playoffs tonight, absolutely. All right, we're done. Not much else we can do. We'll see if any blockbusters went down. If Quinn Hughes moved. Rasmus Asplund, he is Swedish, but I still, 2 goals in 7 games. All right. Well, I didn't think Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen would ever be a former player of ours, by the way. I didn't think he'd ever be like the guy for us to pick up, but it's going to be Luukkonen and Korhonen to lead the way for us. And unfortunately, it reset my lines, which I am not happy about. Because odds are it reset the power play, which I am not very happy about. And indeed it did. So let me get Varakis back in on the top power play. We have Heinola, and we want Patrick Laine. Although you could argue Rantanen and Barkov contract-wise, they still have term. And they're still very expensive. But yeah, that's the only way we'd ever get them is as UFAs. All right, so let's reorganize this power play. Honestly, that works. Heiskanen's the same way. He's still got some term left. All right, let's have Pettinen be the setup man. Varakis as the finisher. Whoops. I always hit the wrong button there. Face-off wise, that looks good. Second power play is Halttunen, Kakko, Lundell. We need Ratu and Kiviharju. Because again, we're trying to keep a lot of players happy who are playing on the third line when they really should be in a top 6 role. An extreme lack of righties. So I'll have Halttunen at the points with Kiviharju. Let's have Lundell over here ready to shoot. Kakko ready for rebounds. Looks good to me. So we will have Kivi be the main man on the power play. Look to get the puck to Lundell because he has make it snappy. And that's good to go. Only other thing we want to change right now is the extra attacker. And again, it's either Heinola or Kiviharju since they're on different defense pairings. Shootout lines, fuck it, whatever. I mean, we have a talented enough team. And then AHL, simply enough best lines. It's a stacked team. They should crush it even with the minus. So let's find out. 19 games to go. We're 6 points back of the New York Islanders. Can we close the gap? We had a mid-season coaching change. We've had a constant filtering of the fourth line. Anton Lundell sprains his ankle. Shit. All right. And I guess that means, you know what, fuck it. For the moment, Topi Niemela is going to play third line left wing. I don't even care. Doesn't make a difference. We are now 9 points back of the Islanders. We might not. If we don't make the playoffs, that's a disaster because we don't have our first round pick. Boys, Jesus Christ. We might not make it. We're now 10 points back of the Islanders. Only 2 points above the Rangers with 11 games to go. We're currently the 8th seed. Okay, the Topiniemela third line experiment has not worked. Luukkonen has an 866 in 6 games. How's Korhonen doing? He's still looking all right. All right, Luukkonen's out for Kevin Lankinen. So much for the trade deadline pickup. Sorry, I got to look at this quickly. We're going to go Heinola, Hamasami, Lindell, Honka. Line 8 is still a minus player. That third line in general is struggling without Anton Lindell. As far as I know, Jesse Nurmi has not gotten a call-up this season, so he will be the one. I mean, even if Vegas were to win the lottery with a pick of ours, if we were to miss the playoffs, it's not the worst because we wouldn't necessarily have been able to do anything with that pick. Watsonian, we sim a lot. We do watch the AI gameplay in the playoffs, though, in elimination scenarios or overtimes. But yeah, I hold off on gameplay because it's much more fun to watch this game try to actively ruin my life. We are still losing games hand over fist. Lindell is healthy, but I gotta be honest, it might be too little, too late. We need to change something in the middle 6 to spark the team. It's going to be Lundell to second. No, it's not. Screw it. Laine, Lundell, Haltinen, Lehkonen, Ratu, Kakko. Just to try something different because we're desperate right now. Broski, what's going on? We are absolutely desperate right now. We're hanging on to this playoff spot by a thread. Back-to-back wins. Looking to hit 40 before April 1st. Kasper Haltinen suffers a neck strain in a 6-0 win. Oh my god, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Rangers could be on 82 points. We'll have a 4-point lead over them. And we have a 5-point lead already on the Habs. I think we're okay. We're probably going to have to make it as the 8th seed, but I think we're going to survive this. Unless we really, really blow it here right at the end. We lose 6-4 to Boston. Why did I say that? Why? Stupid. All right, we beat Winnipeg. We still haven't clinched. We beat Los Angeles. Leafs on 95 points. We're on 90. I think we're 1 point away from clinching. No, we already clinched. Never mind. I didn't notice the icon changed. Oh, thank God. Oh, we have the tiebreaker on the Rangers already. I hear 8 seeds can do okay. Especially with a couple of Finns on the roster, huh? It wasn't pretty. But we are going back to the playoffs yet again. Is it a team built for the playoffs? 43 wins. Flyers will play the Penguins. The Islanders will play the Leafs. Sens, Panthers, and we will play the Buffalo Sabres. That should be fun. As Dallas wins the President's Trophy. Funny thing is, we were better than the 3 worst Western Conference teams to make the playoffs. Offensively, Dallas had that top offense. We were up there, top 7. Goals against at a 3.16, which has to be the second highest. It is the second highest amount of goals allowed from a playoff team. Only the Ottawa Senators allowed more goals. We didn't have a single point per game player this year, which again is just an indication that there's too much talent on this team and not enough puck to go around, which is something we're going to have to contemplate, you know, moving forward. Aho, 76 points, 51 for Lundell, 45 for Haltonen, 41 for Ratu, Inkinen, 9 points and 34, which is actually pretty good for a fourth liner. 64 for Pettinen, 33 for Lehkonen. Got the sign in there. Nurmi filled in a little bit. And right wing side, 69 points, 50 goals for Ville Varakis, 53 points for Laine, 52 for Capo Caco. And that is, again, the approach that we have. We have a bunch of players who can do some damage instead of just a few star players. We got a lot of star players. 68 points for Ville Heinola. Finished the season as a minus player, though. That's concerning. 20 points on the power play. Kivi with 42 points. 38 for Hamasami. 34 for Anthony Honka. And then Lundell and Kulanumi were a little bit further behind. Goaltenders, we played about 7 goalies this year. Korhonen did not finish the season strong. We know that Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen really struggled. Kevin Lankinen is going to have to be our playoff starter. Oh, God. But hopefully that means some EA voodoo will be on our side. You never know. As Jason Robertson and Leon Draisaitl tied for the league lead in scoring, there were only 3 100-point players this year. And since it was asked about, Sasha Barkov has 2 years left on his deal after this. Rupe Hintz has 3 years left on his deal. And we'll see. Rantanen should be up there for goal scorers. Bedard, Jesus. 73 points, or goals, excuse me, for Connor Bedard. Jesus. 69 for Jason Robertson. Rantanen can't be too far down. Shout out to Logan Stankoven up there. Hello? I know I could just go to Colorado, but I really didn't think Rantanen. It's also Nico Hatanen, who I've considered picking up a few times, the penalty machine. Last year of his deal. There's Mikko. 3 years left on his deal. Defensively, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points for defensemen. Uh, 26 goals for both Ekblad and Joseph. Goaltending, Jari, the winningest. Did I see Patrick Waugh get the Gator shot? I did. I'm hoping he's going to be back in the NHL. People always forget, man. He won the Jack Adams like a decade ago. It's kind of surprising he's been out of the league for this long, but teams will jump over themselves to try to bring back shit people. Shout out to you, Mike. Michael. Quinville. Good for you, fellas. Good for you. Shit for different reasons, but shit nonetheless. Save percentage-wise, Connor Hellebuck is likely to win the Vezina unless they give it to Spencer Knight. What team would be a good fit for Patrick Waugh? Columbus. Rookie race, Quentin Musty may have won the Calder. It could give it to Sergei Denisov for a +20. Again, this game puts so much importance on plus-minus. Jesus, what did UC Saros finish with? Here, let me check. Go over to the New York Rangers. A 905. He's down to an 86. So, I think we made the right choice. I think we did. So, we know who it's going to be in the playoffs. The Lions and the Sabres. Oh my.